Thanks, Sushant, for some mathematics refresh. Next up, we have Sandeep Mankar. He is also a senior QA consultant with ThoughtWorks. Having worked with in different roles in software development, he enjoys currently being a hands-on QA. He's going to tell us about why testers and QAs on every team should aspire to be a dev, hence making us smarter and a multitasking QA. Over to Sandeep.
Yep, hello everybody. I'm Sandeep Mankar. I'm currently working as a senior consultant with ThoughtWorks. So today I'm going to make a slightly controversial statement, and bear with me till I complete this presentation. If you still disagree with me, then probably we'll catch up later. So I'm going to start with the software development life cycle. So as you all must be aware of the changing paradigms of software development life cycle. So these days we have agile software development, test-driven development, behavior-driven development, acceptance-test-driven development, continuous delivery. So all of these are like in things, the new practices, the new ways of developing software. So now, if you actually look at them closely, you will see that one thing is very common among all of them, and that is test. So everybody has started realizing that you should have tests, and quality assurance and testing should be a focus area whenever you are developing software. Another thing that I would like to point out is the importance of multi-skill team members. So all of these practices, what they emphasize upon is effective delivery of software. And the important point is, like, you can be effective, you can be more efficient only when you have a very strong team. To have a strong team, you need each member. Obviously, you need specialists, but you need also members who should be able to contribute to pushing out the developed software. And that is where I'm coming from. So test-driven development, basically a developer writes a test even before he starts writing the code. In acceptance test-driven development, the BAs actually write the acceptance test before they actually put out the functionality for the developers to develop it. So as you see, the testers, the job of the testers is partially been taken up by the other team members as well. So what I want to say over here is the developers have started writing tests, the BAs have started writing tests, then why should QAs only be focused on just doing the testing part? They should also be involved in the other areas of software development, be it analysis, be it coding. Okay, let me come to software testing. So make no mistake, I am not saying that software testing is any less important. I personally feel that software testing is a very challenging intellectual process. You have to really think ahead. You have to have a very different mindset when you want to test a software. It is by no means very easy, and it is not no less than coding or analysis. Of course. But for testers, what I feel, this is my personal opinion, but I am sure a lot of you will agree, that understanding the business perspective helps. If a tester gets the business perspective, he knows what to test, where to focus his tests. I would also like to add, understanding the code also helps. So if you understand the code, you can test better, you can focus your testing effort at the right areas, rather than just testing all the random scenarios that may be available to your domain, basically. Yeah, again, so that brings us to one point. So I would like to give an example over here. So how many of you have actually faced a defect which was never reproduced again? I mean, I have faced it definitely, and I'm sure a lot of you might have faced defects which never got reproduced again. Well, so the trick lies is, so if you find such defects, you should go look at the code. The code has some answers. Obviously, the way it is executing will have some answers, and that is where you should, so understanding the code also helps. Next up is test coverage. Okay, so you all must have seen the test pyramid, and you all know like how it is layered into. You have many more unit tests, whereas you have a little more less service tests and very less of UI tests. Now, ideally, the developers would write all your unit tests. They would also contribute in some manner to the service and the UI tests. But what I'm going to say is, the QA should own the test coverage. But again, the test coverage is not something that you just want to find the percentage of untested code as a quality target, but really you want to find it as like, how do we focus your test, or how do we find what is the untested code and focus your test over there. But there is a slight mismatch over here. The developers load the test, and I am supposed to own the test coverage as a QA. How is that supposed to happen? So that is where what you really want is the QA to get involved up front. They should be involved in while the developments are writing tests, while the developers are actually coding, and ensure that they understand the code and the test. That is when the QAs can really own the test coverage. Next up is cost of a bug fix. Again, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this graph where the cost of the bug fix it increases exponentially as you go from requirements to production release. Of course, so what you ideally want to do is like catch the bugs as upfront as possible. The next thing is the cheapest place to catch bugs is in development while coding or while designing the software. So again, important point here is, so if the cheapest place to catch bugs is in development, why is QA involved at the fag end of the development cycle? They should be involved upfront, and that is why they need to get involved in the development itself. They need to understand code. They need to probably write code, or probably pair with the developers. So what is really the role of a QA? Traditionally, find bugs, find defects, ensure that the code that is being developed would work on production, ensure that quality is always a prerogative. Agreed. So I agree with all these three. I mean, traditionally it has been that this is what the QA does. But don't you think that the quality is everyone's prerogative? It is everyone's responsibility, right? I mean, when you are developing software, you might have a BA, QA, and different roles involved in creating that software. But whenever you are doing any sort of the job, or whatever the role you are playing, you need to ensure that I'm delivering a quality software while completing the process. And that is why it is not just the QA's responsibility, but it is the whole team's responsibility. Again, so the role of the QA is to build quality software. Of course, you want to build out quality software. But some points I would like to make is like, as a tester, understanding the code helps. You should do more of it. It is important to catch defects early in the dev cycle. So you need to pair with developers. QA should own test coverage. So again, you write code, you write tests, you pair with developers, you ensure you drill down to the root cause of issues. So whenever you find bugs, you help the developers drill down to the root cause of issues. You can do that by reviewing the code along with them. So again, I'm just saying, pair with the developers, write code, review code. All this is important. And in the end, the role of the QA is to build the quality software. And whatever it takes, be it write code, review code, you need to ensure that the software that you have built as a team is of the highest quality. Again, one point I would like to mention is agile team member. Basically, with the new practices that we have, we want to really have have multi-skilled team members who can really contribute effectively to delivering the software that we are trying to make. And that is where, be it a BA, be it a QA, or be it a tester, what is important for you is like you are focused on the goal of delivering the software and not just exactly what you are trying to do. You might obviously have special skills. A QA has a specific mindset, but you can always contribute to different areas of the software development life cycle. In general, basically, you could contribute to softwares in open source. You could contribute to writing frameworks. You could contribute to writing test code. And that is the reason I say that the testers should start aspiring to be a developer on the code. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep. I think it's been a good series of lightning talks. Back when in keynote, JJ mentioned about being smarter and sort of thinking out of the box and being disruptive. I think these are the things we should try thinking every day and implementing on our projects. So we're done with the lightning talks. I hope they were helpful and some good insights and learnings. We're going to start with the open space. So we've had talks put up there. Anand, yes, he's going to quickly run us through some of things. Okay, you want a mic? Or maybe you want to shout? Nah?
Hi everyone. Time to stand up and choose your tables. So we've got 9 topics for open space. Anyone still not clear what open space is about?
It's okay, feel free to just say, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, you want to quickly run?
Okay, so what Jaisal has told me, and if I'm wrong, if you don't like what he's told me, you can blame him on that. But we've got 9 topics over here. What we are going to do is have 20 minutes for each topic. We have identified 6 tables, 3 on this side, my left, and 3 right in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, of course. 20 minutes for each of these talks. Some I'll read the names also who's proposed the talks. Some of these are going to be open-ended discussions, debates, arguments. Some of them are going to be sessions of sort. See what is interesting to you. If it's not interesting to you, feel free to propose new topics. If not, you can always just observe what is going on the other tables. After every 20 minutes, we'll get to the next talk, again on the same table, wherever the second card is listed, and we'll proceed accordingly. Questions? Awake? No? Okay, not awake. Great. So I'm going to start reading out the topics.
Just one suggestion. If you could have someone note down points that are being discussed, maybe useful insights later on, and people will get a summary of what was talked about.
Correct. Good point. So the owners of these tracks, or whoever's proposed it, I think it's best if they just scribble down notes about what has been discussed. That would be great. Most context lies with those people anyway, right? So track A, table number 1, which is in this corner. Topic proposed by Prasad. How can I implement test pyramid in my project? Prasad, he's over here. One of the people in the black t-shirts. The second one is automation for flash objects. Saurabh? Okay, Saurabh said, that's your table, table number 2. Okay, so if you can start going to the tables, respective tables, that would be great. Topic number 3, QA role in CD. Sudeep. Sudeep, table number 3 on that side, please. Yeah, table number 3. For this set of tables now, the topics are, does being lean mean not having QAs? Pooja, she's already at her table. Table number 2 on this side, it's non-technical coding solution to software testing, targeted for anyone wishing to do testing. Ruturaj. Is he here? He was here. Okay, going once, going twice. We'll come back to this one. We'll start off with security testing on this table, Shirish. Table number 2. And usability testing, rule-based, judgment-based by Indira. Table number 3 on this side. Yes? So we've got these topics. There are some other topics. After 20 minutes, we'll switch to those. How much performance is needed? Preeti and Ashwini. That's table number 2 on this side. And how to automate custom components when your current tool fails to handle them. Prasanna. Prasanna is over there. Table number 3 is already at his table. These topics are over here anyway on the board. Please get to the topic that interests